What I want most for my children is to have a fully fulfilled life. And I think that's not just about having a great, happy marriage and wonderful children and a great job, even though all those things are so important and incredibly important, in fact. I think the one piece is that I want them to feel that they have done something with their lives that made the world better for others. Because I think that is our job here on earth. Our job here on earth is to do something of some good for others. My mother used to say gombaru. My mother was a Japanese war bride because of World War II. My father was an occupation soldier and he met her, and so she came to America. And my Japanese immigrant mother used to say gombaru, which means to never, ever, 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 ever give up, even and especially when there is no chance of winning. It's a very Japanese idea. It's very Winston Churchill, actually, I think, as well. But I think it's also the lesson of that her own life taught her, having been a survivor of war and also an immigrant. Mm-hmm. And I think that, you know, in many ways my mother was a refugee of war. If it wasn't for war, I wouldn't exist, actually, because my mother and father met because of war. And my mother tells a story about emerging into a town after being in the bomb shelter and having there be nothing left. And so she was not even, I think she was maybe 14 or 15 when the war happened. And so that idea of gombaru was very intrinsic in her experience and intrinsic in her makeup. I think the first thing we have to do is care. Mm-hmm. You know, I think any woman who's been through childbirth can imagine what it might have been to not have a doctor or a nurse, or even the wish to give birth. You know, there are women who didn't even wish to become pregnant, and yet they're in that position. So we can imagine how terrifying it would be to be in that circumstance. And so I think the first thing we can do is simply care. And caring matters a great deal. Mm-hmm. It matters because it affects our motivation. It matters because our awareness matters to the people who suffer. There is nothing more you need to be but loving. That's it. That's it. You can fail on every other level, but if you love deeply, your child will benefit in a way that is really kind of fundamental. That your love and your expression of love to your child is everything. It's the sun and the moon and the wind and the stars. It's everything.